Hey, what's up, guys? Ken here from the Retro Toyscapates channel. There were some new images of Mattel's legacy collection Brachiosaurus shared on the Jurassic Outpost website. And holy hell, guys. Holy hell. This thing is about the size of a small child. It's practically large enough to be a significant member of the family. And man, the kid in this photo has got to be the envy of every Jurassic Park fan in the world, and just about every child that loves dinosaurs. I think it's pretty unbelievable that we are getting toys of this size and scale in this current day and age. Most toy and action figure lines have been scaling back in terms of size over the last few years, due of course to rising production costs. Now, I'm not saying that large toys don't exist, but really going out of your way to put out a massive product would take some initiative. Mattel gave us their biggest dinosaur ever last year with the super colossal T-Rex, but the Brachiosaurus reportedly measures 36 inches tall, mainly on the strength of its neck, making this beast almost 3 feet tall and one of the tallest commercially available toys to ever be made. It could actually be even the tallest. Hit me up in the comment section if there are any other taller toys that come to mind. Now, seeing this guy got me thinking back about the time when I was a kid, about 11 or 12 years old in the 1980s, and they were about these two toys that were put out by Hasbro, which was some of the biggest toys ever made in the world at that point, and which made up the basis of most kids' toy fantasies at the time. Like, if you were a kid back then and you could live in a world where you owned these two particular toys, then it would be a perfect existence. So, what am I talking about? The first was G.I. Joe's USS Flag aircraft carrier, which measured about 7 feet in length. Now, if you had this as a child, your parents were likely very rich and owned a big house because hell, you would need the space to display it. The second was Fortress Maximus from the Transformers, which was about 22 inches tall and the tallest action figure of all time in the world at that time. Now, if you're a fan of Jurassic Park, I'm thinking you might also be a fan of the Transformers, or at least you definitely would have heard of them. The line did, after all, give us the world's first range of transforming dinosaurs, which would be called the Dinobots. Now, Fortress Maximus was even marketed as the toy that was as big as your 2-year-old child. This record would since be beaten in 2015 by the updated version of the same character, which would be scaled up to almost 2 feet tall. Okay, so the new Brachiosaurus at 3 feet in height would be the tallest toy of all time in the world. Is the Guinness Book of World Records still a thing? Then the Brachiosaurus would deserve a slot. I never got to see the USS Flag in stores as a kid. I don't think it even made it here to Malaysia. But I did see Fortress Maximus in its original box in a department store sometime in 1988. And I gotta say, the experience was surreal. I never got to own one personally until decades later in 2013 when it was released again under the Transformers Encore line. And even then, the damn thing cost something close to almost $100. And that's another thing. Based on the early information available on the Brachiosaurus, it's supposed to retail for about $49.99 USD, which makes it somewhat relatively affordable. I'm not saying that $50 is necessarily cheap, but it is affordably priced for something of this size. Now, of course, early indications are also that this is supposed to be an exclusive to Target stores in the US. So good luck, international buyers. We probably have to end up scoring this through an online store or eBay, where the cost of shipping would come up to something like another Brachiosaurus toy altogether. Well, Hopefully, it doesn't come to that. But what do you guys think? So that's the video. Do give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and more importantly, do subscribe to the channel so that I can keep this thing going. You know, the kid in the photo has the Brachiosaurus outdoors to play with, in the lawn probably. Now that could be a hint as to where you might want to store something this big if you ever get a unit, right out there in your garden. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you guys again real soon.